Hello, my amazing first grade artists. Today we are going to be talking about the element of art, color. Specifically, we're thinking about the color wheel. The color wheel includes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. We are going to take a look at a super fabulous artist named Alma Thomas and create some artwork inspired by her beautiful brush strokes. Let's get started.
For today's project, you are going to need a piece of paper and your paint and a paintbrush and a water cup. If painting is not an option for you today, that's okay. You could use your markers or your crayons and kind of get the same effect of repeating those marks in a radial fashion. The artist that we're looking at is Alma Thomas, and she is really well known for her color-filled paintings that feature a strong central shape, radiating marks or brush strokes, often in rainbow colors. We're going to start with a shape. You can pick whatever shape you want. I'm going to start with a heart, and I'm going to make my heart red. So I'm going to put my shape somewhere on my paper. Could be in the middle, could be off to the side. And as I'm painting, I'm using what's called a brush stroke. A brush stroke is the mark that our brush makes as it glides across the paper. I like to sometimes think of my paintbrush as a dancing ballerina. She dances around on her toes and makes beautiful marks with her feet. As we are creating our beautiful paintings inspired by Alma Thomas, we are going to create a ring of brush strokes around our shape, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. You'll notice that row I did with orange because that's the next color in the rainbow. As I move on to yellow, which comes next, I'm going to really swish my brush in my water cup, swipe it on the lip to make sure that it's clean before I grab yellow. And again, I'm making beautiful brush strokes just using that tip of my brush. It's kind of like a dashed line as I make my way around my heart. Each time I'm getting bigger and bigger. What's the next color in the rainbow? Green. You are so right. Green is the next color in our rainbow. Again, I'm just repeating that little dashed line. Those brush strokes are what I'm using to make my dashed line. And my paintbrush ballerina is dancing on her tiptoes. Make my beautiful brush strokes. When we dance with our brush's tiptoes, it helps make sure that our brush stays nice for a long time. I swish my brush in between. The next color of the rainbow is blue. This is my favorite color. And again, I'm just making beautiful brush strokes working with the tip of my paintbrush. This helps make sure that my brush's shape stays the same. Sometimes our brushes come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. When we use our brushes nicely, that helps make sure that they stay the way that they are for a long time. Swish my brush in the cup, swipe it on the lip, and move on to purple. Purple is the last color in the rainbow. When I reach my last color in the rainbow, I'm going to start over because our rainbow is kind of like, or we often think of our rainbow rather, as a wheel, as a color wheel. And wheels are round, which means that purple ends up being right next to red as well, which helps us to think about our color mixing because blue and red on either side of purple in the color wheel are the colors that we would use to make purple. And as I'm growing my shape, when I reach the edge of my paper, I just stop painting. I pick up as if it kept going on the next spot where I have space. Rinse my brush onto orange and dancing with the tiptoes of my paintbrush ballerina to make those beautiful brush strokes. Rinsing my brush in between colors is a good way to go. That helps keep our paints nice and clean so that our yellow stays yellow. That also helps to make sure that our brush is nice and happy and has the water that we need to make our paints go. I'm running out of room here. Just have a few more colors to do. Green comes after yellow. And looks like I'll only have room to do a little bit of blue and maybe a little bit of purple one more time in my corner over here. When you're all done, find a safe spot for your artwork to dry. Make sure that a picture goes on Seesaw. Make sure that you're taking care of your workspace, that you're cleaning it up, you're washing your brush with a little bit of soap and water in your hand, and making sure that you're waiting to put your paints back into your container until they are dry. I can't wait to see what you create.